More food shortage reports coming in from our viewers, and more employee shortage reports as well, all in September of 2023. Let's discuss. Good morning. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano. Today, we are still drinking Joffrey's, but in a Dunkin' cup. I had Dunkin' yesterday. Just filled the coffee up in this today. Joffrey's is great coffee. Had a lot of people asking where they can get Joffrey's coffee. It is JOFFREY_S.com. You can go to Joffreys.com and you can order the coffee from there. This is the Mexican blend. In my opinion, it is the best. It can get a little pricey online. Here at the resort, we get it for free, so it's nice. It's a nice little perk. No pun intended. But we have a lot of things going on, guys. We got a lot to talk about. If you need to hit pause to get your coffee ready or whatever beverage you deem necessary, this will be a lengthy discussion. So we have food shortages that people are chiming in. We are getting a lot of viewers from South Carolina, some from North Carolina. Now, when I deem these a serious issue, enough to make a video on it solely on one state, South Carolina seems like they're dealing with some issues. They're dealing with rice, pasta. Pasta's been an issue, apparently. And that seems like it's all around the country. I was surprised to hear salt again. Salt was brought up. It's just crazy, guys. These are times we always talk about. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're part of our YouTube community here, because we bring these events and everything to you every day to help keep you in the know, to help save you as much money as possible in the grocery store, but also to look other places to try and find some of these products. We visit the stores on a frequent basis to try and bring you, the best deals and really where to find this stuff. We always talk about thinking outside the box, checking out Dollar Tree, Dollar General, some other places, not really to save money, but more to just find the products. So some other things in South Carolina. Rice seems to be starting to become an issue. As far as places getting it in. Most places that seem to have the most struggle is places like Costco and Sam's Club. Now, as to where we haven't had an issue really up north in Cincinnati, Ohio, from what I understand, there have been issues here in Florida. There's been issues in Texas, Arizona. Now, Arizona, I have a little bit of an opinion on why Arizona might be short on a lot of rice. Well, there's a lot of people that are moving out of California into places like Arizona because California's become unaffordable and for housing and stuff like that. I mean, I've met some people here that are from California that have moved out, and hello to you guys. Nice to meet everyone who has joined the channel since I've been out and about here. We also had a longtime viewer from southeastern Michigan that sent me a photo from Meijer. A sign that they put up. I noticed a lot of cleaner products that they said they're working to get them back in, but a lot of like tabletop cleaners and stuff. Tilex was one of them. And this is from southeastern Michigan. We get a lot of comments from Michigan lately. Meijer particularly. Meijer's big in Michigan. They're from Michigan. But Carolina, with the food shortages, it seems to just keep mounting on these things. And, let me be clear here. When I say food shortages, I'm not saying that we're out of food. Okay, we can get creative. It's not like we're going to be out of food, but a lot of people's diets and things rely on some of these products, so we like to cover them as we go along. One thing that we need to talk about too today is employee shortages. Now, I did a video the other day where we talked a little bit about it. It wasn't the main story of the video, but it's something that we're noticing a lot down here in Florida. Okay, we're noticing it a lot, particularly in like resort type areas here. Been talking to a lot of people who work down here that they're overworked. Not so much overworked as it is they are, because they're having to do more. They're having to do more than they ever have because they don't have the kind of employees with the same work ethics. That's what I keep hearing, is that a lot of people who have jobs, it's like they don't want to work. They sit around and they don't do anything. That is not my opinion. That is what a lot of people are saying down here. We've seen things where where a lot of these different places are saying they're at full capacity. Okay, they are at full capacity, but they're only putting to capacity at like 50% or 60%. They're not doing 100% capacity. What's that tell you? It means a lot of people aren't working. A lot of people don't have jobs. Don't know if like the same cases like some of these theme parks and stuff like that are the same as like they are with like grocery stores, right? Because we cover groceries. We cover food on this channel. But I noticed the other day when I was at Winn-Dixie, it was like there was like nobody working there. Nobody. It was like there was like one person who was looking at all the self-checkouts and all that stuff, and then there were no cashiers, none. It was only the self-checkout that was open. People were really nice. You know, I can't say the bad without saying the good. Really nice people working there. Way different than Publix. Publix had tons of employees. I think what we need to look at here is what I started to talk about in our other video, is that it all starts from above. It all starts from management. Publix is traditionally known for having great management. Therefore, great management trains great employees, right? When you have a great manager, you want to do good for that person. You want to be like that person. Right? So I feel like that is the difference why Publix is so much better than other places, is because they have great management. You know, like I could say the same for Meijer up north. And this is probably why I compare Meijer a lot to Publix, because Meijer has great employees. They want to help you. They're not running away from you like Walmart employees when you try to ask for something, you know, and that's not all Walmarts, you know, that's how ours is. And I did notice at Walmart down here as well, for it being in a very busy, congested area of travelers and stuff, not many employees. And the funny thing is, I didn't see a lot of like the click listers. I didn't see a lot of employees at Walmart that were doing the shopping for people. That could be because a lot of people are traveling and not driving. Maybe not a lot of locals shop at this particular Walmart that I went to. But guys, again, prices are just getting ridiculous. And and this is one thing that's nice, but it's nice to compare prices with Walmart, because a lot of the Walmart prices down here are the same as they are up north. So if there's anything good to be said, at least Walmart, for being in a resort type area down here, most of the prices are the same as they are up north in Cincinnati. Now, as to where this Walmart carries a lot more products, I did like seeing a lot of the like shelf-stable food items, like emergency food kits, like the Augustin Farms food kits. I loved seeing those down here. I wish they sold those up north. But, guys, I'm telling you, we've gotten a lot of comments on employee shortages over the last couple days when I did that video. And it really wasn't even the purpose of the video. I didn't even title it that. But it's something that we've been talking about. It's something like employees down here, like I was saying before, you know, the work ethics of people have just, you know, people showing up an hour or two late and not getting fired because they don't have a choice. Some of these places, like, they really, as to where a few years ago, you'd get fired on the spot. If I hired you to do a job and you showed up late, I might give you one excuse. You know, and I understand things happen, but I have a job to run. I can't have an employee that's constantly showing up an hour late. You know, what happened to showing up 30 minutes early? You know, I've had jobs over the years where I've showed up, you know, I was always early. If I was there 5 minutes before I was getting ready to work, then I looked at it as being 5 minutes late because I'm not prepared. You know, and it's like people say, oh, well, I don't like their job, or I don't pay enough. Well, that's fine. Work the job until you get another job. If you don't like your job, there's tons and tons and tons of jobs out here. Of course, we do deal with the people that say they're hiring, but they're not. We see that a lot with Kroger's up north. They say they're hiring all the time. I always see the same people working. The people that want to work, the people that are there, the people that are working too much, the people that are there, and it's not that they have, they want to make as much money as possible. That's my philosophy is give me the overtime. That's fine. Problem is that they're not getting the overtime and they're the only ones working at the deli or the meat counter or a cashier. It's like they're getting overloaded while they're working. They're getting burned out. But you have the good employees that work for you all the time, that are constantly showing up, always there on time. They'll work an hour later if they have to, and they never complain. But they're taking on the serious workload that they shouldn't have to, and I think these things are mounting as we go along here. Now, since we've been down here in Florida, we've seen a lot of angry employees. Not used to seeing that around here, especially in Orlando. There's been a lot of people that have just seemed like they just hate their job. It's like, come on now. Like, you work at Universal, you work at Disney, you work at, all these other places that are, it's like, it could be a couple different things. I don't know how much money you're making. I know some of the people here make pretty good money, from some of the prices that I've heard. It's like, it seems like wages have gone up down here, but again, I does it start with management? I don't know if management has changed down here. I always believe that management is number one. If you're being trained by someone who loves their job, then it's probably going to work its way into your bloodstream that you're going to love your job too. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm kind of old school with some of these things, I guess. But I just, I believe as for the job that you have, someone's paying you, do your job. If you don't like it, then search for something else. All this stuff that's free and all this stuff, it's like, I feel a lot of people don't know what it's like to make an honest day's living anymore. And it's just, and I'm not saying everybody, but there's a good amount. And, the population grows every day. Population just keeps going up and going up and going up. We need to find new ways to motivate our friends. I'm sure every one of us out here knows a few people that, just don't have a job or don't want to work, and it's like we maybe as people who do believe in these things, maybe push some of our friends, and, word of mouth is really everything. Like if you have an idea, share an idea with a friend or family member. So you don't want to be a waitress. Well, go drive for Amazon. They're making like $30 an hour. Go work for the post office. They're making like $30 an hour. The best benefits on the planet. There are jobs out there. The post office where we live is hiring constantly. Now, when the post office is having trouble getting employees, we know there's an issue because that is good money and that is good benefits, and it's just like these places just should not have trouble being able to hire, And, we look at places like fast food restaurants and stuff, and it's like even these places are suffering because people go in there and they have such a fast turnaround, that they can't even keep people in the door. But I think a lot of people think very less of themselves. I think that they think that they have to work a job like this. Well, to get by until you do, maybe you take the first job that's going to be available to you to be making money until you get to that job that you really want. Maybe something that you not really want, but something that is going to pay your bills, get us through all of these terrible times right now. Because guys, these are some rough times. Grocery prices are not coming down no matter what they tell you. If you hear anything else, they're lying. After doing this for the last couple years, we see things that are just going through the roof. We're having to find new ways to save money, to eat, to get by. That's why we always talk about it. Always talk about it on the channel. Stock up on the things that you love as they're on sale. And the people who are best at doing this are people who are poor. From the channel here, from what I've learned, is most people who have nothing are the ones who can prepare and plan for the best for themselves, because you have to. You have to. If you don't have a lot of money, I feel like these are some of the best shoppers on the planet. So if you know a friend or a family member who is always struggling to get by, you might want to take some notes on how they shop. Take some notes on how they shop for their groceries and how they do this. Because people who live day to day or week to week even, they're looking for the sales constantly because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. We have a lot of viewers on the channel, who are always struggling. This is why we visit so many different places. It's why we go to as many different stores as we can to try and look for the best deals, not just for people who have money, but for people who don't. Because these times are ridiculous. When I go into a place like Publix or Winn-Dixie or a place like this down here, it's like, it almost makes me sick. It makes me sick because it's like, I can't, it's like, I would have to not... I'd probably be ordering online from Walmart or Kroger. Kroger does deliver down here, and you can get the sales, as they come in. That may be a cheaper way to go here in the future because gas prices are going up too. Gas prices are going up, wear and tear on vehicle all the time. Some people don't drive. Some people don't have transportation. I'll tell you what, Uber and stuff like that is pretty prevalent down here, but I can see there's, it's not as much public transportation as you might think here in Orlando. There is a lot, but it's not as convenient as you might think. That is why we drive our car down here so that we can get around and stuff like that, and not have to rely on public transportation. But, I wanted to focus mostly on the employee shortages that mostly you guys have been mentioning in the comments. That's why I wanted to throw in my 2 cents so we could discuss some of what I think's going on. I think it's a mixture of a lot of different things. It's a multitude of issues. We have companies that put up now hiring signs that really they're just doing that to... I don't know. I think there's some kind of break on that for them to say that they're always hiring. A lot of people are mentioning... they're hiring like they'll hire part-time. Who can afford to live on part-time work? And who wants to work 2 different jobs? I understand a lot of people do that. I've done it before. A job that was part-time, and then I had to work part-time in another job to make ends meet. And this is years ago. I can't imagine trying to do that now. And then trying to work out some kind of like healthcare or something like that in between both jobs, because you're not going to get it from either job. That's where it hurts. Like, your benefits are crap, basically, because you have 2 part-time jobs, neither of which are going to pay that. Now, there's other outlets these days, that you can search for and hopefully try to save a little bit of money, but healthcare's gone through the roof. We always talk about food on the channel, and it's like, we try to talk about some other things, as we go along. The housing market is ridiculous. Different things that are happening around the country right now are going to reshape the way we do things. Food shortages is one thing, but at the same time, food shortages that we are having now, I don't think are going to be as much as what we're going to see in the future. We are going to have to start getting creative, on different things we do, be able to live without that steak or, the hamburger, because that's only going to get more expensive here in fall and winter of 2023. We will see the highest, we're already seeing the highest meat prices of all time. And, it's not going to be long before it just disappears, right? Because the more expensive, that's the telltale sign of a major shortage is when you see prices become completely unaffordable. Sugar has gone through the roof. I've seen sugar go up so much this summer that it's just, I don't know if it's a harder blow when you see something go up $1. I almost feel like if sugar went up $1, right, a bag, like a month or 2 ago, it wouldn't have been as impactful as it's gone up consistently, where we saw it go up from in a month's time. 10 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. And now here we are, Walmart, $3.24 for a 4-pound bag of great value sugar. I think because we're seeing the slight increments, we're seeing the confusion, not just in the stores, but we're seeing confusion in the manufacturers, because they're trying to figure out how we can raise this, not freak people out all of a sudden, because that would, if it went up $1, you may think, well, forget it, I'm just going to get Domino, right? I really want Domino, but I get great value because it's cheaper, right? I bet that goes on, might not go on through everybody's head, but it would definitely go on through mine. Now, me and Jessica don't like beet sugar, and that's mostly store brand sugar. We get pure cane sugar. I usually get Domino. It's the one thing I will spend a little bit of extra money on because it's pure cane sugar. The beet sugar, I don't know. Some people say it's, excuse me. Some people say it's worse for you. I don't know. Beet sugar is, I don't know. It's just something I've always just trusted pure cane sugar, always trusted Domino. That's just one of my little pet peeves. But I understand for everybody, saving that extra dollar on a bag of sugar is very important. We've also seen store brand pure cane sugar go up in a lot of different places. We've seen it go up at Kroger, Meijer. That SE Grocers product at Winn-Dixie, I didn't see any comments this morning on people talking about SE Grocers, but those guys are, I'll tell you what, for a store brand, they're about as high as name brand, and some of the stuff even higher. Now, I don't know much about SE Grocers. It's the Winn-Dixie brand, which I don't know how that's going to change when we have Aldi, because Aldi's bought out Winn-Dixie. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing now. After shopping through Winn-Dixie and seeing these ridiculously overpriced stuff, and when I say ridiculous, I mean beyond even where we are now. I was completely caught off guard. I really was. I could not believe how expensive stuff was at Winn-Dixie. Now, I don't know if that's just Florida or the area I'm in, but we have had a couple people, one person from Tennessee who has Winn-Dixie said that the same prices are up there as well. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. We just have to check on these things day to day. Make sure you leave it down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We do these things every day to try and help save you as much money as possible. But now we're keeping a close eye on the different food shortages and stuff like that too. And again, when I say food shortages, I don't mean we're out of food. We're just talking about things that are hard to come in. Pasta, sugar is an issue in some states. South Carolina has chimed in. We've got a lot of viewers in South Carolina where they just mostly it's been about prices. Prices in South Carolina seem like they're getting like they are here, just unaffordable. We're just going to have to find new ways. I liked what somebody wrote in the comments the other day. If we cut out one meal a day, they'll lose their bottom line. Maybe. I remember back in 2008 when everybody quit driving. That's what drove the gas prices down. You couldn't find a bicycle anywhere. Walmart was completely sold out of bicycles. Target completely sold out of bikes. And maybe that's what it's going to take. I don't want to say cut out your meals or anything like that, or maybe cut out a little bit. If everybody did that, though, it would definitely impact the grocery stores and ultimately impact the manufacturers for charging too much. Maybe lower some gas prices. I don't know. That might be what it has to take. That might be what we have to do to get some of these prices lower. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that. What I think, I don't know. I'm wrong a lot. And wrong a lot meaning I say something and then something else happens, It's just, I don't know. It's still early for me here, so I don't know what more to say about it other than we need to stock up on things that we can afford, that we can put away, be prepared for all different situations, whether it's a lights out situation, bad storms, anything. It's good to be prepared a little bit, understanding that not everybody can do that. And these are the things we need to look at as we go along, because the more and more things get expensive, the more and more we have to look at every way we can save. And with everything going on, one of the most important things that we all need in life is food. We need to eat, so that is what we pay attention to, at least on this channel. But we need to pay attention to some of the other things too, like these cleaners that we were talking about, table cleaners, stuff like that. Tilex was one of them. Somebody had mentioned Clorox as well. Clorox is kind of flying off the shelves. I noticed at, it wasn't Meijer. Where was it? It was Kroger. It was a Kroger. Now, this was a couple months ago, but I noticed they were pretty wiped out on Clorox. I don't think I said anything in the video because I usually give it a couple weeks. I don't really feel like it's a major issue until we don't see it come back in the next couple weeks. And I never checked it out again, but we have seen some people are also talking about more inconvenience stickers being popped up at Kroger's, like all around the country. So we need to pay attention to that. So I was talking to a guy, real quick here, and we'll finish here. I was talking to a guy. We get a lot of comments from California, okay? And there was a guy who was saying that he really likes Winco. Okay, now I've never shopped at Winco. I guess it's all out west, but he was saying that he says the prices of everything out there are ridiculous. But Winco seems to be the place where they can find everything, at least, and they're getting in products, and they're traditionally a lot cheaper. And I don't know about quality and stuff like that, and I was just asking him, is this the place? And he says he's been to Food for Less, he's been to these places. I know he's around Southern California, and he kept talking about Winco. So if you live out in California, you may want to check Winco, see if you can save at this store. I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look online and check out some of their prices and what's going on, but it's something I want to mention. I was out here talking to this guy, and he really seemed adamant about shopping at Winco. Really loved it. It was a place where he's able to at least save enough to get by, because that's really what it's about today, is being able to get by. Hopefully things level off, but I've been saying that for the last couple years, and nothing has leveled off. It's only gotten more expensive. So we take that for what we can today, right? If we take that message today, then we can start saving today, so that in the future, at least we're saving a little bit from what prices are going to be in the future, because it's only going up. We're expecting some major price increases here over the next couple months. So with that message, I leave you with this. With this message, I leave you with this. Be prepared. Be prepared. We are expecting a long winter. Nothing has changed in that sense. Some of the stuff I don't want to talk too much about on the channel, but we have events that are happening worldwide that we need to be focused on. Not don't lose any sleep over it or anything, but we need to pay attention to all these little things going on, because people get on here on the channel here and they say, oh no, we don't need to worry about the ban of exports on Indian rice. We don't need to worry about the grain and the wheat and everything coming from Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, because like we've always said, since all of this stuff has been happening, and it seems like every week something new is going on to cause these things, everything has a trickle effect, right? When one country isn't getting something, we may not be getting something from them, which in turn might cause ingredients to disappear, right? That was a big deal with Kroger last year. That's why they weren't getting a lot of stuff. That's why they weren't getting a lot of their own products, because they could not get the ingredients. You have name brand products that are paying top dollar to get these products, and if a store brand, they may not want to sell it. If you have Kroger who is having trouble getting ingredients for a strawberry jam, well, it may not be worth it for them to sell it if they have to pay top dollar, because they know you as the consumer is not going to pay $4 for a jar. They know this. They know the limits of what they can sell products for, and they're not going to waste money in a world today where every inch counts, every little calculation counts. The stores are paying attention to this. I know people always talk about price gouging and all that stuff. Sure. I mean, they are. I feel like everywhere is greedy. That I'm not denying that. I'm not saying that, but you can't just look at the grocery stores. You have to look at the manufacturers. You have to look at companies that are trying to get a little more over on the other company. Like I said, everything has a little trickle effect, and these are the things that we need to do. We can, talking about the not eating one meal a day, or not, buying what you always do. Or, I don't really know how that could work out with food. I know how it works out with gas. People just stop driving for a week. If everybody stopped driving for a week, gas would probably be $1 a gallon. I don't know. I'm just ranting, just coffee ranting. But that's maybe stock up on some groceries, stock up cheap, and then don't go to the grocery store for a couple weeks. If everybody did that in the country, these grocery prices would fall like a Led Zeppelin. There's no denying that, because they would not meet their bottom dollar, and things would get crazy. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea either. I'm just kind of throwing this out here, but we're always talking about it on the channel here, ways that we can try and work around it, try to save as much as we can at the same time, just making sure that we're able to get the products. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this rant today. Wanted to talk about the employee shortage thing because there's more to that. There's more to that going on than I think most people realize. And it's not just people not wanting to work, it's people not wanting to hire as well. They say they're hiring, but they're not hiring. This person doesn't want to work. Maybe they've dealt with people that come in and then they leave 2 days, and it's costing them more money to train employees every couple days than to just have that one employee and work them to death. So I don't know. It's a situation. It's a deal that we just have to get through, and we will. We'll get through this together. Thank you all to our 35,000 something subscribers who have been part of this journey, and we will get through this together. Never give up the fight, and stay strong, stay prepped, stay safe. Have a great day.